Well, it's going to be a video on how to take apart pretty much everything on the dash, the console, you name it. You know, just pulling this out. Actually, what I did, it's very annoying. I was putting the HVAC controls in. Actually, I popped off one of the clips late at night last week. I lost it back there. I says, well, I'm going to order new knobs, put new knobs on it. Let me order the clips anyway. So I popped off another clip somewhere in the back. So I have to take this all apart and find it. It's a pain in the ass. If you're paying somebody to do this, it would be up to $1 million or whatever it would be. But first off, you got this goes over this, right? This comes off. It's got these clips. You can see them on the back. There's one there, one there, one there, one there, and one there. They're not exactly, you notice they're not exactly straight across from each other either, you know? Actually, it goes this way. They're a little lower. If you take the radio out, you got, if you had to take the radio out, you got a 10 millimeter bolt here, one here. That one's missing. It's always been missing. There's a lot of stuff that was missing out of this dash. I put in there after the fact, screws and stuff. You have the screws that go around here on the dash that pulls this whole thing out, including this. You don't need to take this out, but I dropped this down. These are the HVAC controls. 2 bolts here, and also a couple screws for the little lighter holder. And there's a little light up here too that basically is your you know, there's a couple screws that hold this thing in too. You know, you're right here to drop that. Now the other thing with the dash, there's on this side panel here, I've had this apart before, so this ain't the first time I've done this. Take that off. There's a screw right here. Then down below, let's see if I get a light under here. There's a screw down here. Also, there's ground wires and stuff. Usually, there's a screw over here. You got to take this off, this bottom thing off first, to get the to pull this out. It's a pain in the ass, man. It's a major pain in the ass. Okay, so this is the back of the dash cover. It just pulls straight out. Like there's some there's screws that go in here. There's a couple on the bottom, one on this side, one on that side, one on the very side under that brown cover right there that I pulled off the side. Then you have, if you have your little computer that shows the you know, the mileage, gas mileage, and if you're going north or south or some crap, you got to pull that connector off before it pulls all the way out. And that's up here. And then you have, this is the traction control switch. If you have that, you gotta get those clips off. You got a little button here, and you got a little button on the side on this one. All right. Like I said, if you're paying somebody to do this shit, it'd be major bucks. So, just in the back seat. Now, if you gotta fix any of those vent controls on there, and that's how you would do it. I mean, you would just take that out. And this is also, now you can see, if you want to take your instrument panel out, you can do it that way. You got, you know, just a few screws to take, 4 screws, you know, there's just where the white tabs are, and the whole instrument panel comes out. And then you could take the back of the instrument panel off, and sometimes there's solder connections you got to go over and stuff. And actually what I'm doing is I'm looking for a little couple bullshit clips for the HVAC controls. Now if you got to get under the dash to take this bottom piece off, you got to take the top part off to get at these screws. You see these screws here? You got one here and two. You got one over there, and if I'm pointing at it, right there, and one over here. If you want to get this bottom piece off, and usually there's a ground wire. You can see it right there. See that ground wire? That's another ground. I don't know if I got to take that off. I'm not sure if that needs to come off to find what I'm looking for, because I went in the back there somewhere. The next thing is to pop this bitch off, and I got to take the Allen wrench to take this off. This piece off of here that comes off. There's an Allen wrench in the front, right here, a little Allen wrench that pops off. Then this pops off. Then you could take 1, 2. A lot of these screws are missing. 3, 4. There's one on the side, I think. There's some in here. There's a plug that unplugs the whole wiring harness, and this whole thing comes out. Pain in the ass. I'm doing is looking for a little clip. It's way in the back there, popped off on my HVAC controls. Something was out of adjustment. And actually, you know, this is something good, because if it gets out of adjustment, your heat doesn't work as good, or your AC doesn't work as good, and also it could be is the stupid blend door. Okay, to take this off, there's a little Allen screw in the front there. You can see it, right? And, you know, it's up in the front of that. Take it off, it slides off. This has 4 little clips on the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it has this wire. And the clip, I don't know if you can point it to, it's like it. These clips all suck. You push this one out that way, and then that wire that comes off. Next, we're gonna take out the screws on the console. Now, to take off the console, there's actually, you know, some idiot actually posted one time to take out all the switches and the lights. There's actually just one plug in the back here at the console is all the wires, and you want to lift up the brake like that, and you got a screw here, screw here, screw here, and you got some screws down here in the back. What I do is I leave the screws in there in the back so you don't lose them. So that's the front part of the console. Now to remove this, and see, this is actually this part of the console, so I can find those clips. Actually, this is a lot to, you know, I did this before when I did the heater core. You got to take all this stuff out to take the heater core out too. Now to take out the other part of the console, you got a screw here, screw here, screw there, screw there. You also have one way down there on the bottom. Probably can't see it, but it's on the bottom corner, one on each side. Then you have a screw right here, which means you got to drop the glove box. And the way you drop the glove box, you don't have to take out the hinge. You have to squeeze in these things on the side, and you see these rubber stops. Then they go past this crap right here. So then it's dropped, and then you can get that screw out. Then you have to take out that bottom piece that was on the dash here, which I have back here. You know, it's just a, you know, black plastic with freaking metal on it on the back. You got a screw here and a couple screws across the top there, and you know, the ones I said in the bottom, which I got out earlier. Then you could take out that screw, because that black cover, the dash cover, the lower dash cover, that would be blocking that screw. Then you got to put the key ignition, put the ignition, the shifter back, and then you can take this whole thing out. I'll have to wiggle it out when it's off camera. It's a pain in the ass. Then I should find those BS clips. By the way, that's where your O2 sensor, the second O2 sensor, not the first one. This is actually the easy one to get to, believe it or not. Easy, quote unquote. It's kind of like under the console. Sometimes you can bend out this plastic. It's kind of, and pull the rug and you can unsnap it. And I did find the connector that I lost back here that popped off the cable for the blend door. So when I was putting this thing back in, now I got to see if I can adjust that right and get it all hooked up, and we'll put it back together. Now, I don't know how this is going to come out, but you can see the clip there, and it's a pain in the ass to get that clip on there, big time. And let me see if I can get this blend door. See it working? So it's working. I get this thing back together, move it out of the way, and major pain in the ass. You know, actually I would have never found that other clip because I don't even know where it disappeared to. I don't even see it in here. I would have had to order one. But as bad as this seems, how cars are getting more complicated, they're getting worse. This is actually when I had the heater core out. It's actually behind here someplace. Pain in the ass. Pain in the ass, man. Pain in the ass, big time. So anyway, that should be correct. And that's where your fuse box is, and your body control module is actually right on the other side here, I believe. Yeah, you can see it right there. You can see it right there. If you ever have to change that bitch. But you know what they do with these cars? It's ease of manufacture, cheap to manufacture. That's why they make those stupid bullshit clips. They could have easily put like a radiator clamp there or some crap like that that you tighten down to hold the freaking thing. You know, they make everything like that because it's wham bam, slap it together, get it out the door as cheap as possible. It's not made for freaking people who want to work on a car. But I'm going to tell you, even this 99, which is actually fairly new, this would be too new to be a classic car, but eventually it will be. And it's going to look simple compared to the crap that's coming out today.